So let's talk about house prices. Now, whether it's down to mortgage rates, inflation, the cost of living, or even because of the seasonal effect we often see with property transactions, house prices are slowly falling from their peak levels. And the expectations is that we will continue to fall further this year. Now, with some expecting falls as large as 30% and others predicting a more conservative 8%, which means the average home would essentially lose £20,000 from its price tag, it's really difficult to predict where house prices are going to go. Now, if we just segue back ever so slightly to how house prices have changed, we can see from Land Registry UK House Price Index, which is based around the actual sales and not the listed prices, my friends, some important data. And just very quickly, my friends, please note that there is usually a lag of around 2 months with the data being updated on Land Registry. Now, Land Registry itself states that the average UK house price rose by 10.3% year on year to November 2022, where we peaked at £294,910. This, of course, is visible from the image that you can now see on the screen. However, although we can see an upwards trajectory, if we look at Halifax, they report a 2.4% drop in prices from November, with a further 1.5% drop in December. The former of these being the largest monthly drop since the beginning of the financial crash in 2008. Now, one thing I try my best to do is bring different sources of information on this channel so we don't end up with a bias towards one particular opinion or narrative. And one good way of seeing this, in my opinion, my friends, is by looking at other property price indices. Here we have 3 providers reporting lower price growth than Land Registries year on year. We've got Rightmove, Nationwide and Halifax. So it can certainly be confusing when you're trying to gauge the clearest indication of how the market is performing and moving. Now, if we move over to how many homes are actually being sold, we know that the market boomed in 2021. Buyers rushed to take advantage of stamp duty cuts, with some making tax savings of up to £15,000. And this is an image from HMRC on January the 24th, which shows all residential property transactions of £40,000 and above across the UK. Just be mindful that anything below £40,000, there is no stamp duty paid on that. So, what can we ascertain from this information? Has the property market slowed down? Well, one thing we know is that although not across the whole of the UK, is that demand is falling. The estate agent body Property Mark reported that in November, 72% of property transactions were completed below the original asking price, whereas before that, it certainly was a great time to be a seller, as there were definitely some crazy prices being offered for properties, and as I've always said on this channel, people were definitely overpaying and stretching themselves. Now, Rightmove reported that it took an average of 52 days to sell in December, which was up from 32 days in May. Although the time of the year, in my opinion, is definitely one of the factors behind this. And Property Mark stated that it had also had an average of 33 properties for sale per branch in November, compared with the pre-pandemic averages of 51. Again, my friends, I will say that the time of the year has some reason behind this. But you can see from the graph below, should you wish to do so, the average time for houses to sell. Now, as for what will happen next year, one thing you can be certain of is I'll be sharing my update videos with you as frequently as I possibly can on how the property market is moving and any further important updates, so you can make the right decision on whether you should be buying properties, selling properties, or of course investing in them too. And I still urge everyone to check these videos out that I've just shown on the screen after this video, because they've all got important pieces of information that could give you more context, at least around my personal views of the 2023 and 2024 market, and hopefully answer some questions that you may have in relation to what you should be doing next, because corrections of 5%, 9% and 2% are still being thrown about, which tells me one thing: nobody really knows, and it seems that everyone's just guessing based on their data sets and sentiments at this particular point. As for the exact figure, if you're with me up until this point, my friends, let me know in the comments below what percentage fall or rise do you think we will experience in 2023. And as always, my friends, thanks for watching.